Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller prospecting. It's Paydirt Tuesday gold panning. I don't know what episode this is. What is this, 183? I just looked at the thumbnail and I don't even know anymore. uh, but welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Gold Panning Fever. I think it's 183. I think that's what it is. But thank you all for being here. And today we're going to be panning out a bag of FelixPaydirt's brand new guaranteed Paydirt from the Klondike and his Grandpappy bag with a guaranteed 4 grams of gold. But before we do that, let me go catch up on chat, say hi to everybody. See who we got here. Troubled One has it going. Yeah, they don't advertise the guaranteed ones in their pamphlets yet. I don't think they will. Ozark Buck, how's it going? Mary, how are you today? B&B Paydirt. Yeah, I got the big one, and we're going to talk about that in a minute as soon as I catch up on chat. John Gear, how's it going? HD Chevrolet, thank you for being here. Donna, how are you feeling, Donna? Are you feeling better, Donna? I hope so. Thank you for being here and being a mod, though. Shane Berthero, how's it going? Alaskan Assassin Adventures. Brad Thompson, how are we doing today? We have... Didn't I make... No. Old notes. Michael Reed, how's it going? MCD Prospecting, best eBay seller there is. Stephen LeBlanc, even though I haven't been to eBay in a while, I'm sure you're still holding that title. Chris W. Jose Garcia, how's it going, brother? Thank you for joining the show. Alan Curry, how's it going? David Danduran, Jason G, Adam Weiss. Who else? Have I missed anybody else? Hope not. Rocky Mountain, how's it going, Brad Hayden? Sean McClelland. Richard Dow, how's it going? Humble Stacker. And I think I got everyone. All right, so let me pop out chat. And if I missed you, I apologize, but I really do appreciate you being here. There we go. Pop out chat. Thank you. And then we'll move that here. So, yeah, so we're doing the big bag from FelixPaydirt tonight. And I have to say, now, I'm not a fan, like in my review, I said I was not a fan of their old Paydirts. But these, see, one of the good things about companies like Felix is they don't change much. Where somebody like Gold Nugget Sales, Culver, or Vendetta, they stay on top of their prices and stuff, you know? So if Gold Spot drops $10, Gold Nugget Sales will have adjusted his price within an hour. If gold goes up $10, he will adjust his price within an hour as well. Because they want to adjust it and make sure they gain as much profit as possible and don't, lose profit, things like that. FelixPaydirt doesn't. He's very slow in his thing. So I just looked, and this 4 gram bag, if you bought it today, what is it? I wrote down the numbers. 93.34% ROI, guaranteed. And this is from a seller who's notorious for 55% ROIs. So they haven't adjusted the price. Gold has gone up since they released this gold. When they released this bag of Paydirt, gold was, I think, at $87 a gram. Since then, gold today, as of today, is $97.50, $97.62. They haven't raised their price. So the price is the exact same. So, I'm a big fan of it. I'm actually might buy another 4 gram bag later today because at those prices, and those ROIs, we'll have to see. I don't think I'll get more than 4 grams in this, just like on the 2 gram. I'm pretty sure I'll get 4.05 or something like that. But I'm not a fan of, FelixPaydirt, their old Paydirt, but I'm really am a big fan of this one, especially if they don't keep up with their pricing. BK Golden Coins, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. Mike at the Gold Vlog, I was just talking about you, and there you are. Strip63, how's it going? Yeah, I just looked and it was $97.62 a gram. I never look at the ounce because people my mom will text me and say, oh, it's at this. And I'm like, what? And I have to, in my head, I have to divide it by 31.1 just so I can get an estimate of what it is per gram because everything I deal with on my videos and everything is always the gram. I'm hoping maybe one day I'll have so many subscribers that every review will be a 1 ounce review. Neanderthal Prospector, how's it going? Annie Stevens, how are you? Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Oh, Bear Prospecting, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. You, Ann. Annie, I appreciate y'all both being here. I am Zaxon. How's it going? So yeah, like I said, I'm not a fan of Felix Paydirt, and we won't be able to do, well, they're old Paydirt. I have to say they're old Paydirt. Let me keep saying it's their old Paydirt. This one I can't give you an ROI at the end of the night for because I purchased this one. I purchased this one and the 2 gram that's still on my shelf. I had a secret shopper buy the other 2 bags that I did in the review, but right, before that, I was like, well, I kind of want to try this on my own. So I didn't plan on reviewing them. Originally, I did not plan on reviewing them. I just saw that they had bags of Paydirt up and the ROIs were good. So I bought them. Then afterwards, I started thinking, I was like, well, maybe I should do a 2v2 and, battle their guarantee versus their non-guarantee and put another video up. So that's what I did. Oh, are they? Yeah. Yeah. If one of the mods want to do it, I did not know they were doing something. Yeah. That's awesome. GS and Carson are 2 of my favorite people. So yeah. Yeah. If one of the mods want to do it, I'm all for that. No problems, Jose. I get those all the time, and I have like whatever it is, like 500 friends on Facebook that, I know like 50 of them. And all the rest are just people that send me friends requests. So usually I skip, they'll send me a notification. I know, and I was like, oh, I know Jose. He comes in chat every once in a while. It's like, it's been a while, but, I try to say hi, happy birthday to people that actually know, that, they've been in my channel before. And, it's just not a friend of a friend or somebody that just pops up for prospecting. So what's up, PA Patriot? How's it going? Where's my package, brother? You said you were sending me a package last week. Did you send me a package? See, I'm Zaxon's even being sweet and asking nice about it because I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know either one of them they were having an event. I knew nothing, so I appreciate it, Jose. So now I'm curious. Now I want to see the link too. But took a beating with Behemoth today. How's it going, Empty Pan? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. So, but yeah, like I said, I had no plans ever of doing another Felix Paydirt review. And I don't know. So I did email them. So I talked to them. I emailed them and asked them if they might be doing bigger bags. And they said they might. They said they might actually start doing even bigger than 4 gram, which would be kind of nice because, like I said, if they're not keeping track of their pricing, if they're not making their pricing dynamic, if they're not upgrading it once a day or changing it with the times, you might be able to get some really good deals on there. Like I said, this is at 93. As of today, this is at a 93.34% ROI, and that's with shipping at $218 or $418. 418 bucks. It's a 93% ROI. I don't think you'll get extra gold again, but it's pretty good. We'll have to find out. We got like another 6 minutes and we'll start panning it out to see. I'll be curious to see if it's got nuggets though. Like I said, one of the things, like I have a really good friend of mine who buys Felix Paydirt, and he's been buying Felix Paydirt for probably 15, 16 years. I mean, and I've told him a million times, look, they go to Gold Nugget Sales, go to Culver, Vendetta, all these other old sellers that were even good, Irwin's Paydirt that have since closed, Tom's Gold Dirt when he was around. For 8 years, I've been telling him to go to other sellers, and he's buying one every once in a while, but then he would always tell me, oh, look. And he'd show me a picture where he bought like 8 more bags of Felix. And the reason he always bought Felix was because back in the day when Felix first opened and when Gold Nugget Sales, Gold Bay first started, all the sellers back then, if you bought Paydirt, it was all the really fine gold. It was small gold. And, it was none of the chunky stuff. It was just the small gold they couldn't sell. If you go to a shop, shops will sell you little pickers and nuggets and everything else, but they're not going to sell you the 20 mesh gold and, the 30 and the 40 mesh because nobody wants that. Nobody's going to buy a little bit of it. So that's what they would put in all their Paydirts. Felix, though, every single bag you'd get, a little bit of that, but then you'd also get one nice nugget out of it. So he was always hooked because, you get bigger gold. And nowadays, though, it's different. Nowadays, most sellers, even Gold Bay has chunky bags. Gold Nugget Sales has chunky bags. Sellers tend to spread the gold around now. It's not just all smaller gold. So I'll be curious to see if they're keeping with that theory where, if you buy their no guaranteed bags, you're going to get a chance of pickers and nuggets and, it's mostly going to be really chunky gold. Whereas on these, they're going to be the smaller gold and you get a better ROI. We'll have to see. There's Gold Baron here. Aaron Mack, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, Gold Baron, 41 people watching, only 11 likes. Well, you know, they're looking at my face. Usually all the likes pop in once we start panning and they don't have to look at me anymore. You know. Oh, and you know who I wanted to ask if he's still here? Gold Vlog. Mike, when are you going to start putting out shirts? I want a shirt. I want a shirt. Because I'm trying not to wear my own shirts during my show because everyone that's in my show knows it's my show. And I can't afford to keep adding Paydirts to my shelf. Those cost too much. I can usually get one a month. But I can probably get some sweet shirts out of people. So if anyone has a shirt for a prospector or a prospector channel or knows somebody that wants to send me a shirt, extra large, let me know. I will promote you on my show by wearing your shirt. So I would love a Golden Nugget sales shirt. Just one. You just make one custom made. Reg Lab. See, look who's talking. Reg Lab. We got it right here. Well, where we go? Reg Lab. See, it came in, Reg Lab. I don't know if I sent you. I did not tell you, did I? It came in. I don't even know if you can see it because it's behind there. But see, the Reg Lab Paydirt. There we go. See, everybody? I got me some Reg Lab Paydirt. It's on my shelf. You can't see it because chat's in front of it. I always forget chat's there because when I have my camera up, when I'm shooting videos, there's no chat there so I can see it. Yeah, look at it. And when you're looking at it, get one sample, extra large, and have them send it to Indiana. That's what I did. All my shirts, I just went to, I think it was Printful or Printify, one of the two, and I designed the shirt and I just ordered samples for myself so I'd have my own shirts and didn't bother, putting them up. Made it easy. So, but yeah, so Reg Lab, when it came in, I was like, oh, I need to hit him up on Messenger and tell him the package came so he doesn't wait until this Tuesday. And I totally screwed the pooch on that one. Like I tell everyone, I'm actually horrible at remembering to do things once it gets to actually messaging people. Like, I will remember it like all day. Like, oh, I need to message him. But then as soon as I pick up my phone or get on my computer, it's just out the window. So, oh, sorry to hear that, B&K Gold. Yeah, my kids are sick again, and they're coming over Wednesday. I'm preparing myself. I know I'm going to get sick again. How's it going, Crash? So I will say, I am not a fan of maple syrup. I think I've said it before on this show. I am not a fan of maple syrup. I like the old black lady on the bottle syrup. I like that stuff. That to me is more to my liking. I'm just not a fan of maple syrup, but my kids love it. So I always have maple syrup in my fridge. I only put maple syrup on their pancakes. I'm too fat, so I can't have syrup on my pancakes anymore. So, I can put peanut butter on mine. That's about it. So, but never been a big fan of maple syrup. So. Annie. No, but really, I mean, pneumonia, that sucks. So they just keep getting stuff passing around over and over. Hey, Jeffrey Button, that's awesome. Let me know. Which one did you get, the 2 gram or the 4 gram? I think, like I said, I think they're a really good deal. As of today, the 2 gram, right now, if you bought a 2 gram today for $218, you're guaranteed an 89.49% ROI on the day of purchase. The 4 gram is 93.34%. That's really, really good. I mean, if you're a Paydirt seller and you're selling Paydirt at 80%, you could buy this, repackage it, and make 9% just off the 2 grammer bags. Just saying. And I know people that used to do that. I used to know a certain somebody that had a Paydirt company. They've since closed, but I still won't mention them. That used to buy the 10 for 11 bags from Gold Nugget Sales. They would keep the nugget for their collection. They would take those 9 grams, package them up, sell them as Paydirt. They told me they would make a little bit of money, like 10 or 20 bucks off all 9 grams. They'd sell 9 gram bags, 9 1 gram bags, and at the end they'd make like 30 or 40 bucks. But then they had a 2 gram nugget. It used to be a 1 gram, I think, a 10 for 11. And it used to be 1 gram. And every time they'd get a 1 gram nugget out of it. So that was their profit, was they were just hoarding 1 gram nuggets. And they had a Paydirt business that still made them a couple bucks, every once in a while. Cajun Bullion, how's it going, brother? Donna. Thank you very much, Donna. You're way too kind. You're always way too kind to me. And I didn't even see in chat if you said you were feeling better. Because I swear like 2 weeks ago you said you were feeling ill. And I'll probably miss it if you say it again because people are talking too much. The mods aren't just banning everybody. No. But in PA, I still haven't heard. Did you send me my package? Because if you didn't, I want some of those dried strawberries, brother. Those things looked sweet. As soon as I saw that, I was like, man, I can't wait. 215 degrees. I remembered. My brain remembered that 215 degrees. I remember that. I got to just wait till strawberries go down to like, when you can get them for like $1. Hey, troubled one, how's it going? You back? Doing good. I'm doing good. I can't complain today. My kids come over Wednesday. Now, I will say this now. I don't know. So there's no video coming out this Saturday because it's every other Saturday that video comes out. So I don't have a video coming out this Saturday. But I don't know if I'm even going to have a Tuesday show next week. I'm going to try to do it. But my kids are coming over spring break. I get them for 2 weeks and they're sick. So I think we know how this is going to go. They're coming over with like the Navarro virus or something, whatever bat bit them this week. They're both like, and they both have something else different. My son's sick with a fever and something else. And throwing up. He's got a fever and throwing up. And my daughter is got the coughs and the flu or something. So they both have 2 different things. They're coming over Wednesday. So they're coming over tomorrow. So be prepared. There might not be a Tuesday show next week. I'm going to try to do it. I think I plan on doing the RJ's Paydirt that's up there on the shelf. So we'll have to see. New channel business logo. And are we looking into stickers soon? Go to, you always look for samples, like sticker companies that do samples, like Mules, whatever it is, Sticker Mule or whatever. You can get like 10 stickers for $1. They have a couple companies that'll do that. Because that's what I do whenever I want to try a new logo sticker or something like that. I'll order like those. I'll get 10 of them from one company and, and you can just use a different email and kind of do it again. So, but all right, let's go. Let's start panning this. I'm really curious to see. I really want to know the size of the gold on this because the 2 grammer, I will say, when I did the, what is it? I don't even remember what the Bonanza bag. So the Bonanza bag I did for my Paydirt battle was no guarantee, $200. And when I saw that picker in there, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I really, really like this. I loved seeing that picker in there. But then I got a 54% ROI and was totally bummed out. But then when I did the 2 gram bag for $200, all the gold was smaller. So I didn't have that same excitement level as I did with the smaller ROI. So I'm hoping the 4 grammer, at least 1 picker, maybe a nugget in here. I'm hoping a nugget. For 4 grams, I should at least get 1 nugget, but we'll find out. We're going to do that. Referral link to Sticker Mule. Yeah. Also check Amazon. You'd be amazed at how many custom things you can get off of Amazon. I just ordered some business cards for something, and I got them off of Amazon because every place I went to, like all the places where you build them and stuff like that, they were so much money. And I was like, I just happened to Google something, and they showed up on Amazon, and I ended up getting them for like 1/3 of the price. So, because I don't need them to be perfect, I just need them for a little throwaway thing. 4.01 with a 0.415 picker. That would be, I will do that. Oh, I want bigger. I want over a 1/2 gram. So I need a nugget. I want over a 1/2 gram will be a nugget. So, all right, let's shrink down. I think it'll have some pickers. I think for 4 grams, they'll probably throw in some pickers at, $400, but I want a nugget. But all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug and go to panning. There we go. And got no pan in there. I guess I need to throw a pan in there. So give me 1 second while I set everything up. Move everything around, slap some gloves on. All the good stuff. $4.005. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing it'll be either, well, it is a Tuesday show. So a Tuesday show, I'll probably miss one or two pieces of gold, maybe. So I'm guessing I'm going to say 3.995 or 3.99. All right, let's open this up. Check out the material. There we go, Brad Thompson. That's it. The ugly mug is gone. You can like the stream now. Nobody's watching you. All right, I need to set up my tablet so I can keep up chat. What? That's not the wrong pin. All right, so here's the material. Looks just like all the other Felix material. I've done quite a few bags of Felix Paydirt. I think I've done like 6 or 7 bags. Plus this one is probably 8. And I don't think I've ever noticed. I think all their Paydirt looks the exact same. Even though they claim it's all from different areas and different things and different ridges. And yeah. I don't know. All right, we don't want that. We're trying to find Miller Prospecting on my tablet. There we go. Come on. Oh, this wants to give me everything but my live show. There we go. Did Weezen show up finally? All right. Thank you, Weezen, for showing up. I appreciate it. All the other mods were here. You Taller Mining, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Leaf gold compared to nuggets, which is, I'm guessing probably leaf gold. I mean, it would depend. Me personally, it wouldn't matter to me. But if you get a bigger piece, I'm guessing leaf gold would probably bring in more money. You know, like if you had a 1 gram, you know, or let's say you had a 2.5 gram leaf gold and a 2.5 gram just a regular old nugget. I'm sure the leaf gold would probably bring in more money because they tend to be prettier the bigger they get. So, but I know nothing. Maybe Mike from the Gold Vlog will shout out because he knows more about that stuff than me. I'm just good at getting it out of the dirt. There we go. 3.87. You think Exposer's like, he can't pan. He's going to miss so much. Bear Prospecting's Paydirt is really good. I like that. Really good ROIs, too. Really, really good ROIs. 2 of my favorite sellers, and in my top 10, happen to be from Indiana. That gotta tell you, people in Indiana know gold. No Paydirt, definitely. Bear Prospecting and Prospecting Gear. Primo Prospecting, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And if one of my mods or all of my mods want to take turns dropping the hidden link, I'd appreciate it. Tonight will be spot number 2 of 3 for a 1/2 gram bag of Miller Prospecting Paydirt. So if you've been on a dry spell and haven't had any Paydirt, maybe this will be your chance. Now you can get that spot number 2, and once we do the drawing, maybe you'll be able to win. And get you some of that Paydirt and some gold. Another one of the great Indiana Paydirts and Miller Prospecting. No words. I really like y'all's Paydirt, especially, you know, a lot of Paydirt sellers when they first come out, like there's some Paydirt sellers that'll come out and they just suck off the bat and then they get worse and worse and worse. There's other sellers that start out okay. You're like, this is okay. And then they get better. But lately, a lot of the new sellers that are opening up just start out just banging, you know. Because I have to say, when I first saw bear prospecting, I don't think y'all had the 1 gram yet, did you? I think my first review of y'all didn't have the 1 gram in yet, and y'all came out with the 1 gram. And just even when you didn't have the 1 gram, it was banger Paydirt. Gold Baron came out. He didn't have a 1 grammer. Now he's doing better. Yeah, it's good to see. Paydirt sellers are coming out with good Paydirt right off the bat. The 3 grams from GNS. Yeah, GNS has some really good 3 grammers. I have a battle. If you go through my videos, I did one not too long ago where I did a Paydirt battle with all of his 3 gram bags of Paydirt. I went through each one of them to see what I thought about each one, and which ones I thought were a better value and stuff like that. My personal recommendation would be the Aussie bag, just because it's 3 grams and it's Australian gold, which is better than us American gold. Hey, Daniel, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate it. Brad Welch, I don't know if I said hi to you. Dina Littlehale, thank you for joining the show. Curtis, thank you for joining the show. And anyone, if I missed you, I appreciate you being here. I'm sure I will see you at some point in the chat and shout out to you. If not, you can scream in chat and say, hey, you didn't say hi to me, and I will say hi to you. So, and if you just joined in, we're doing a 4 gram bag from FelixPaydirt. This is their Grandpappy bag. It's one of the 2 bags that they have with an actual guarantee. I think they sell like 12 different bags of Paydirt, or bags and buckets, because a lot of their Paydirt's actually in buckets. Very expensive buckets, but they only have 2 that have a guarantee, a 2-grammer and a 4-grammer. So we're doing the 4-grammer tonight. And we have not seen any gold. There we go. We got a little bit of gold now. We got a little bit of gold showing up. That's good. It's one of those things, when you know you have a guarantee, if you don't start seeing gold right away, it kind of makes you think you're going to get chunky gold, and all the chunky gold already dropped to the bottom. If there's no guarantee and you don't see gold in each pan, you just start thinking you got ripped off. But when you got a guarantee and you don't see gold in every pan, you just start thinking you're getting chunkier and chunkier. Yeah, Troubled One. This looks exactly like the material that was in the Bonanza bag. I mean, I can't really complain too much, because you can have 2 mines, like one on one side of the river and one on the other side of the river, and they're going to be 2 separate mines, technically, or claims, or pits, or whatever you want to call it, and the material will be the exact same. So it'll just be the gold that's different. But I seriously doubt I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like, okay, here's all our pile, just grab it out of here. Not everyone's crazy like Mike at GNS. Like, I would go to this waterfall, I need to get some dirt from here. I think we should run maybe I will do that on my channel. Maybe I will do that. I will pick like 10 really horrible places to go to get dirt. Like, Louisiana swamp, then we could all beg Mike to put that Paydirt out. Like, Mike, we really want some Louisiana swamp Paydirt. Just so we could see the video of Mike having to go out in the swamp. Be chased down by some alligators to get some Louisiana Paydirt, the Salton Sea Paydirt or something like that. Isn't it variety, spice of life? I love it. I love it. It was one thing when I had my Paydirts. I mean, I don't do it anymore because I suck. But when I used to do my monthly Paydirts, I used to always give out. I've got 30 different types of Paydirt I made up. So I love it. It was just too much work. Maybe I'll have to get back into that. Maybe I'll start doing that again soon. Maybe that's a good thing. Let me write a note on that. Let me get back into my fancy Paydirts. So I'm gonna have to start emailing some people and having people send me dirt. Because, you know, I used to have my Arizona Paydirt, I had my Indiana Paydirt, and I had all kinds of ones. I'd get people to send me, you know, had Carson send me material and stuff like that. I'm going to have to start doing that again. I kind of got away from it because it's a huge pain in the butt storing a whole bunch of different dirts. But maybe I'll have to get back into it. Uh-oh, missing some long text in chat. Let me. Well, no, I'm trying to get Mike to have to do. I'm trying to get Mike to do videos and, you know, make them like, you know, like Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, where he's just doing different, getting different Paydirt material from different places. Hey, Wesley, how's it going? Tomcat Josh, how's it going? Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone being here. I know, it's funny. I saw the nugget. I was looking at the website the other day. I was trying to see if he'd put anything new out, and I saw the Nugget Balls bag, and I was like, wasn't this here before? And I was like, I know it wasn't here when I did, you know, my Paydirt championship. So I was like, it wasn't here in like January. And I was like, well, maybe it's a new one. And I was like, but he didn't make a video. I'm like, where's the video? And then like 3 days later, 2 days later, up comes the video. And I was like, oh. Mike can never wait until the video comes out to release stuff. He's just like, oh, throw it on the shelf. Put it on the website. I'll push the video a couple more days. That's awesome, Brad. Steven Stark, how's it going? Not sure if I said hi to you, but if I did, here's a second hi. Thank you for joining the show. Ooh, almost lost a whole bunch of gold there. Gonna keep up with chat. So yeah, so far, it's all been wee gold. It's just the wee gold. Well. And again, in case you missed it, FelixPaydirt is pretty slow at updating their pricing. And I don't even know if they will. I think they kind of are like set in their, you know, ways. Because in their old stuff, if they had a $200 Paydirt, they didn't need to change the price because they didn't have a guarantee. They would just lower or raise the amount of gold in it. But now with these bags, they're not really updating it. When I originally saw that they had the 4 grammer out, gold was originally $87 a gram, and it's now $97. So this bag here has a guaranteed, if you bought a bag today, has a 93% ROI. Okay. I know I've said this a couple times, but one of my worst memories of Paydirt was when I first started the channel. I don't even know if it's in my I don't even know if it's in my video things. I think it was a video. It was before I did videos. I think it was just a written one from my original blog, which I don't have anymore. But one of the worst Paydirts I ever did was a Paydirt I got from a company. And as soon as I opened the bag, just the smell of diesel just like nailed you. So I was like, what the junk? So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just the bag or something. I don't know. So I went to go pan it out, and as soon as it hit the water, just like a film just covered the water. So I emailed it, and I'm like, dudes, what's up with this? This is an eBay seller. And I was like, what's up with this? And I'm like, oh, yeah, we spilled a whole bunch of diesel. One of the things just leaked all over the piles, and, you know, so we just sold it as is. I'm like, what the junk? I was like, oh. I mean, it was horrible Paydirt. It had a horrible ROI, and then it stunk like diesel and just jacked up my stuff for like a week, you know. I can't remember their name. It was like, I know it was Alaska. It was 3As. Their name was 3As, but it wasn't Alaskan Assassin. Because I remember it was 3 guys. Because it was 3 guys that owned the mine. That's what they claimed in their thing. That it was 3 guys that were friends that all worked in a mine and were selling Paydirt or whatever. Yeah, see, Mike doesn't mind going to all these places. He's like the Adam Sandler of gold Paydirt. Because if you ever notice, like, I don't know if everyone knows this, but the reason Adam Sandler likes still making movies is because it's in his contract where him and all his friends get to go on vacation. So that's why if you watch most of his movies, they're always at like Hawaii or in Africa or somewhere else, because then he gets to go on vacation. He brings his whole family, all his friends bring all their families, and they get to all go on a vacation for a long period of time. Because, comedy movies don't take a long time to shoot. They're not going to be there for 6 months. They'll be there for like a month. So Mike could do that, like, oh man, I got a tax report. I'm going to have to write this off, but I'm stuck having to fly to Hawaii and spend 3 days on the beaches collecting Paydirt. Ugh. A rough life sometimes. Yeah, they have a lot of those minds. $3,500. Oh man. I think he has enough money to save. Well, yeah, but the way you keep your money is by not spending your money. I'll never forget. So there was a movie that came out. I don't remember what it was. It was kind of like a Fast and the Furious type movie, and it came out it was a long time ago. It was probably like 20 years ago. And I remember in the movie, there was like, and it had, so it wasn't a Fast and Furious movie, really. It was kind of, I don't remember what the movie was. It was just some like cheesy, bad action movie or something like that. But in the movie, at one point, the main character is getting a Ferrari. And it made no sense for them to have a Ferrari. Like they were supposed to be poor or something like that. And there was a Ferrari in it. And then they just drive it for like a minute, then stop. And so there was like, why did they have a Ferrari? But then I saw an interview with the guy, and he said in the contract that he signed, the director or whatever, or the producer, writer, whoever it was, that as part of their contract, whatever car they used for the main characters, they would get to keep. So they essentially went and bought a $250,000 car so they could use it for 5 minutes in the movie so he could keep it, So Adam Sandler doesn't want to spend his own money. His friends don't want to spend their own money. Netflix is paying for all of their vacations, and he gets to keep all his money. Hey, fickle prick, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Good to see you getting off work early. Perplexed Mind, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Hey, Brad T, don't you have a website? I thought you had. I mean, somebody in chat recently opened up a website with like quarter-gram bags of Paydirt. Yeah, that's it. I thought it was you that had the quarter-gram bags of Paydirt. I bookmarked I just so happened to stumble on your website the other day, and I bookmarked it. And I was like, oh, there you go. Well, I don't even think Jason is built for that weather. I think Rigby and them kind of force him to go out there. They're like, hey, if you don't find the gold, we don't get treats. you know, Rigby and them are just showing you on camera what they want you to see. As soon as that camera stops rolling, they're growling at him, barking at him. He's like, okay, we can go out. We can go out. We can go get some gold. Come back, get some treats. No. Well, good for you, brother. Hopefully it works out for you. Black Mass. How's it going, Jonathan? How have you been doing? Yeah. More small gold. So I don't know. So guaranteed 4 grams. This is what we've gotten so far. Maybe that's like a gram? No. That's about a gram. And that's all the material we have left. So that means there's still 3 grams in there. I'm starting to think picker or nugget is starting to look a little bit better for me, I think. Yeah, come here. You ever see a piece of quartz fall in and you think you saw some gold with it too? That's what I thought. I thought I saw. And those are always the tricky ones. If you find like a nice piece of quartz that big that's in your pan and it's just got a little bitty spot of gold on it, it's not going to stick in your pan. You're not going to be able to tell by panning it out. So unless you just happen to catch it at the right angle and see that gold. Because I remember a bag of lynch once I had that happen where, I forget which one. It wasn't their gizmos. I want to say it was one of the reserve bags. Where I was going through one of their bags and it just had a nice sized piece of quartz, and just as it was going over the edge, I was like bling. And I was like, that was gold. I had to pull all my tailings up, dig through it, found it, and I knew it wasn't probably put in there intentionally, like, oh yeah, this will count as, because I got over, I think it was a 1 gram bag. I got over the 1 gram just with all the other gold, and it was just, so they weren't counting it as the weight, but no worries, Ortiz. I got so many mods now. I can't even tell who's not a mod these days. Thank you, Ortiz. And how's the little one doing? Hopefully y'all are a good fit for each other, getting along. I was thinking about texting everyone the other day, but then I remembered I hate texting. My fingers are not built for texting. I was telling my son that the other day. I was like, I miss my BlackBerry so much. When phones first came out and the BlackBerry came out, man, I could type as fast as anybody. Nowadays, nope. I type really fast on my phone and it just don't make a, and then I got to delete the whole thing and type real, real slow. And it's still all messed up. Oh, that's awesome, Ortiz. More small gold. I don't know. Maybe there's no picker. Maybe we're just going to keep finding little piles, little piles. I don't know. Only a little bit left. I'm going to 3 pans, 4 pans. And don't forget, too, if you haven't, if you're new, just joining the show, make sure Nightbot just dropped a hidden link. Make sure you go click that. Leave a comment, something witty, something smart. Maybe talking about how great I am, how wonderful my website is, the best reviewer ever, things like that. Then you get a chance to win spot number 2 of, 3? Spot 2 of 3 for a half-gram bag of my Paydirt. Once we have all 3 spots filled, then the following week, on a Tuesday, we'll give away a bag of half-gram Paydirt of Miller Prospecting's best Indiana Tuesday tailings. So you'll have a 1 in 3 shot of winning if your name is picked tonight. So, what? Well, here, I'm going to do that now. Let me set it up so I don't have to. I even double-checked that again this week. I was like, because usually I don't double-check it. Some weeks I do, some weeks I don't. But this week I did. And of course, even after I double-checked it, it still doesn't work. And it only does that because I normally keep it set for approval only. But I don't want to change it because then when I do a video, everyone will be able to post. And I don't want everyone to be able to post. I want to approve everything so I can read them all. All right, there we go. That should be all there. Let me approve everyone real quick. Approve, approve. Oh, there we go. So everyone's approved now. So everyone has an equal chance of winning, not just my mods. All right. Thank you for telling me that, Ed. All my other mods were like, ooh, we got a better chance of winning now. And I don't think I replied to your email. I think you emailed me, Annie. And I think, like I said earlier in this video, it went through my head and I replied. And then I didn't reply. Because if I read an email on my phone, you've got zero chance that I'm going to reply to you because I will see it in my mind. I will think about replying. I'll say when I get home, I'll reply. And then I forget to reply. But as soon as I'm finished with this pan, I'm going to write a note to make sure I go double check it. Because I need to check my calendar for me and my kids. Hey, Stephen LeBlanc, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. And 8-3, the Rain Man himself. How's it going, brother? How are them chickens doing? How are the bees doing? How's the farm doing? And just in general, how are you doing, brother? Ready for the summer? Some dredging. Yeah, no, another pile of small gold. That's all right. PA's got a nice camper. Oh, it's always going, Refochers. Yeah, it's always going. That clock doesn't stop. If you refresh the page, so I did that one day where he had like, if you go to his website, he had it on his website once where, you know, like if you clicked on a certain one, it would show you and it'd say, oh, you know, like 8 hours and this and this. And if you refreshed it after like 4 hours, it would go back up to 8 hours. Yeah, it just, yeah. He's a scam, you know. Robert, how's it going, Robert Mathel? Waiting for the Miller Prospecting Paydirt reviewer where he judges people's criteria. Now, I will tell you, honestly, I will tell you, when I watch other people's reviews, I cringe sometimes. Sometimes, I mean, there's certain things like, you know, like I know, you know, I'm not the best Paydirt reviewer. I would never claim to be the best. I'm not the best YouTuber, any of that stuff. And I'll watch some videos and I'll think, man, that is so cool what he's doing, but I'm not going to start doing it because then that would be copying, you know, like I don't want to copy somebody else what they're doing because, you know, I like doing my own thing. And there's some channels I really like, but then there's others that I watch and I'm just like, oh my God, they're not calculating in shipping. What is wrong with them? I'm like, no, that's misinformation. You're not telling them the truth. You know. Yeah, but I, to be honest, I don't watch very many reviews. I really don't. I will usually watch the intros, and that's about it. So I will watch the first like 30 seconds to a minute of a review, and that's about it. Because I don't want to, you know, like if somebody, like I haven't done the Falls Paydirt from Gold Nugget Sales. So I've never panned that out. I've never done a review on it. And if I see somebody has a review on it, I don't want to watch it because if someone says something like, oh, this stuff is super hard, it's, you know, really hard to pan out and this and this and this, then I will go into it thinking in my head, this is going to be really hard Paydirt to pan out. And then if it's not, I'll be kind of disappointed and I don't want to do that. So generally won't watch too many reviews unless it's some Paydirt that I know I'm never going to buy. You know, like if somebody's doing a 1 ounce bucket or something, I'll watch that because it's like, well, you know, I don't do those. So, well, not. I've done it once in 8 years, so. Dib Dibberson, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Yep. More small gold. Yeah. I mean, not complaining about the small gold, but like I said, I think that's how they're going to do this with their 2 grammer and 4 grammers. You're just going to get a whole bunch of smaller gold. And, you know, if you complain to Felix, like if you're a regular customer, like, oh man, I didn't really get any nuggets or nothing, they'll be like, oh, that's why you should buy the unguaranteed bags. You know, hey, fickle prick. Well, I'm glad you made it, Dib. We're almost done. This is a 4 gram bag from FelixPaydirt. Oh, I saw two. I saw two. There's one hidden right here, and then there's one that made it to the top. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. You can see it. Picker time. Picker time. Jason's Rigby bag. So I remember it was probably like 3 years ago, maybe 2 or 3. It was probably 3 years ago. And I think it was right after he started selling his Paydirts. I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll have a secret traveler buy all 3 of his bags of Paydirt so I could battle them against each other. And I'm thinking, in my head, I was thinking, you know, one would be easier than the next and then the next. So, you know, I was like, let's see, you know, one will be like easy, one will be medium, and one will be hard. And I'm going to find out why. Which one? Because, you know, he's not very descriptive. He just tells you get a bag of his Paydirt and that's it and how much it is. And they all were hard. Because, you know, I try not to do like, you know, if I'm going to review a hard Paydirt, I know I schedule myself to be here like for 2 days shooting and panning and no distractions. And I had 3 really hard Paydirts and I was like, well, this really sucks. Like, I did not plan on this. I wouldn't say that. I think I've been around the longest, but I appreciate that, Mike. I really do appreciate that. You know, I would definitely say there's some more entertaining people than me, you know. But I think the problem with like a lot of it is, so if you're going to review somebody and you're like, oh, I want to be, you know, I want to have a whole bunch of subscribers, like I want a ton of subscribers. You need to be entertaining. So then they'll get to be entertaining and they'll say, well, I want to be entertaining. But then they don't want to do a whole bunch of number crunches and criteria and all the really boring stuff because that's not entertaining. So then they'll say, oh, this and this and this. And then, you know. I just pretend to be, I'm just entertaining when I turn off the camera and I hang out with my kids. I save all my entertaining for people in life. Oh. Get out of here, you one little piece. So we got 2 little pickers this time. Let's see. Do the drop test. I'm guessing like, I don't even think they're 1/4 grammars. Maybe like 0.2 something each, but we did get something, a little pickers. I was hoping for a nugget, but not bad. I'm not complaining. You know, I knew what I was getting. I knew I was getting 4 grams, no guarantees, other than the 4 grams. Well, I heard something clunk, but I don't know if that was just that rock. I think it was a rock. Got me all excited. I heard a clunk. I was like, uh-oh. Clunkety clunk time. I haven't watched a couple. I've missed like his last 4 videos. But I really do like Groovy. Yeah. I really do like Groovy. Well, that's one of the problems too. I know people think like, oh man, Miller Prospect, he sucks. He's not entertaining. I could do a better video than him. But then the problem is, this is a very niche market. Like, I would highly suggest you are not going to like get a ton of subscribers doing Paydirt reviews. You're just not going to. You never will. Clash did not get all his subscribers from doing Paydirt reviews. You know, the vast majority of his, when he started, the vast majority of his were from coin roll hunting. He was doing coin roll hunting, and he got almost most of his subscribers from that to start. And then he did do the 1 ounce bucket, and that got him up to like 50,000 subs. But his 2 videos where he did going to New York streets prospecting is where he got all of his subscribers from. Now he can't afford it. He can't do that because it's like a one-shot deal. You can only do that every couple of years. So he has to have some content in between. So he does the reviews. So it's a very niche market. It's a prospecting is a niche market, and Paydirt reviews is a niche of prospecting. So I think one of the problems is people come into this thinking, man, I can do so much better than Miller prospecting. And then they don't get any subscribers or any views, no money, because YouTube doesn't pay anything anymore. And then they kind of like, you're better off doing prospecting videos. Because you can go out there, spend the whole weekend prospecting, shoot tons of videos, and you can make that into 3 or 4 videos. Oh, and just in case, Ed, you'll know which one to pull. If anyone doesn't know, Allison from Yukon Alley has started posting videos up. So Ed, if you want to post her last video she did, where she is telling you her story, and I love Yukon Alley. Allison is a wonderful person. I absolutely love her to death. So if everyone wants to go subscribe to Yukon Alley, she has just started a series where she's going to be telling you how she started from the beginning until where she's at now. And then she's going to start posting videos on what they're doing now with her mine and their gold prospecting. And they have a really good mine. Think, gold rush type mine. They have a real mine. This isn't them going out in some creek with a little bitty dredge, pulling up a quarter gram every month. I mean, they're going out there getting ounces a day. I really appreciate that. I really do, Mike. I appreciate that. Lord Shadow, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. Oh, she updated her Paydirt prices? Oh, I'm gonna have to go check that out. I'm gonna have to message her then, find out when. Thank you, Weezen. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you're not, go subscribe to Yukon Alley. It'll double your chances of having a chance of winning spot number 2 tonight. And honestly, it won't, but pretend like it will double your chances to win spot number 2 tonight if you go subscribe to Yukon Alley. Absolutely wonderful person. Some of the best Paydirt out there. And it's very limited Paydirt, so it's not somebody that sells year round. They put them up on their website once a year, and once they're sold out, they don't come back because then they're working their mine. So Wisconsin's worst miner. Oh Lord, this thing. I'm about to crack my bottle. I cracked it. Oh no, I need to get another bottle. This one's broken. Did that the other day. I noticed, I was like, man, it just poured out a ton of soap. My hands are all soapy now. Thank you very much, Exposer. Absolutely great person. And so from what I gathered from her video before last and from talking to her, is they have someone now that's kind of like a docu person, and they're going to be shooting videos of them working so they can put it on their channel. So they're going to start actually having videos of their mine and them working at their mine and stuff like that. So it should be a really cool series to watch. It does have a ring to it. Yeah. And you never know what name's going to be popular on YouTube. You really don't. I know some people worry like, oh, I don't want to change my name because everyone, just change your name. Because if YouTube's algorithm knows, like if you go look, my original channel was Gold Paydirt Reviews, and if you do a Google search, if you search on YouTube for it, it still shows my channel. Gold don't want to stay at the top. Thank you very much, Raj. I appreciate that. One and only. How's it going, brother? See, I didn't use a magnet to show if there was many, but none of this stuff is really a magnet. There's really just nothing in it. So even though the gold is all on the smaller side with these guaranteed bags, they're still really easy to pan out. I still haven't watched that episode, Weezen. After I found out what Freddie did, I was kind of like, well, I'm banning Freddie. I don't want to give him any money. I might have to go pirate the stream and see and watch it. I did like that series. Out of all the stuff they did with Gold Rush and stuff like that, I did like the Freddie Dodge, like fix a minor stuff. But it would have been nicer. The one thing I don't like about shows where the reality shows where they kind of go and fix stuff, like Kitchen Nightmares or, Hotel Nightmare or all these other series where you get a professional to come in and tell you what you did wrong, is what they really should do is when they do those shows, they should like shoot it and then 6 months later go back and find out exactly, or a year later go back and find out how they did. Because without a recap, you don't know. I mean, you could go there and say, oh yeah, And I know I've seen some shows that do stuff where they do a recap like a month later, but I mean, that's not a real indication. I need to know like a year later, did those improvements really help? Astronauts back down. They're jelly bones. the their new DNA and rubber bones from being up there for so long. So the way they stay in business is they, one, buy gold for less than spot, or two, they mine their own gold. So like Yukon Alley does not buy gold. Any of the paydirt she uses in hers, paydirt, she gets for essentially free. So we're going to talk about mines first. So if you have a mine, like a working mine, like Yukon Alley does, typically at the end of the season or during the season, whenever they need money for gas and stuff like that, they go to refinery, and the refinery will pay them probably about 65 to 75% of spot. Because if their gold's not 24 karat, they're going to reduce it for carat. And, so if you're working with 18 karat, they're probably going to pay you 75%, but then they're going to have fees on that. So you'll probably get about 70% of spot. So if you're only getting 70% for selling 4 grams to a refinery, they can throw it in a bag of paydirt, charge you actual spot price. So if spot price is 100, if they go to a refinery is going to pay them 75. If they put it in a bag of paydirt and sell it for exactly 100, you're thinking, well, I'm getting 100% ROI. You're really only getting a 75% ROI in their mind because they only paid $75 for that gold. To them is only worth $75. But they're making $25 more profit. After shipping and everything else, they'll probably clear 80. So if they go to a refinery and get 65 or say 70% of the refinery, but then they get 80% selling it for paydirt, and the same thing is, or they buy cheap. If you can find somebody that'll sell you paydirt, like if I knew a miner, like say if I knew Bob Jones was a miner in Arizona and he was pulling in an ounce every month and he was selling it to a refinery at 70%, I could go to him and say, hey, I'll give you 80% every single month. Every single month, I will give you 80%, buy an ounce every single month. So now I'm buying gold at $80 instead of the $100 that spot is, and then I could sell it. That's how they do it. The reason that you see paydirt sellers close is because they're not doing that. They have a lot of paydirt sellers who have come and gone, and it's because they're buying gold at spot or above spot, and they just don't stick around. That's it, Gold Baron. I want to see everybody. I want to see every single one that comes and goes. Like usually they'll only talk about the ones that are either epic failures, like, oh, they were going to do good, but then they super failed, or the ones that did really, really good. I want to know every single one. Like I used to, like one of the shows I used to watch because I bartended for years and years was like Bar Rescue. Even though I hated that Taffert guy, I couldn't stand him. Um, but I used to watch his show. But you could actually go to a website, and there was a website that kept track of every single bar, and it would tell you if they went like, and almost, I think it was something like 75% of all the cases they went back to the original name. They pulled all their stuff out of storage that he had put in storage and went back to the way it was almost every time. All right, so there we go. We got this, the two pickers. We're gonna dry them up. I'm gonna scoop all this out of here and cook it up, weigh it up, see what we got. So let me move this so we can put. Oh yeah, it was. Everyone knows that it was all scripted. You could tell, when Gold Rush first came out. I don't think anyone thought it was scripted, and it might not have been. But once Hoffman went to like Panama or wherever he went, South America or whatever, it was so scripted you could tell because it was just like nobody's this stupid. Like when his dad took the bulldozer and drove it over the sluice, like, oops. It's like, no, you've been talking for 2 years about how your dad's the best crane operator in existence, and now all of a sudden he just wrecks the entire sluice, and it's like, oh yeah, right when we were about to get going. Yeah, no. That's when you knew it's like, okay, they're just super scripting this stuff. It's not even worth watching anymore. Scooping up gold. Yeah, I did like that the spoof. Flower Gold with Jason's awesome. I still haven't watched his cave one though. I saw that one the other day and I was like, oh, I want to see what he gets in the cave. So no spoilers. All right. I think that's all of it. That looks like all of it. All right. Weigh this up. There's our gold. It's very soapy. I put so much soap in the water. Sorry. Here we go. All right. Where is my torch? All right. Give me a second while I cook this off. Breathe in my daily dose of mercury. Whatever other contaminants are on the gold. Yeah. I still have not really. I've only watched like 2 episodes of the Oak Island thing just because the first episode I watched, I was kind of like, they're not really, they were stating too many facts that they didn't know. Like, oh, this is the original hole, and this is this, and this, and this. Like, this. They lost the original hole so long ago, nobody knows where it's at. So I figured it was going to have to be scripted to keep people watching it. All right. There we go, all dried up. Wait for it to cool off. Yeah. All right. There we go. Have something to look at. While we wait for it to cool off, I need to get a little boat, put it in. Here's funny. When I first started this channel, so fun fact, when I first started this channel a long, long time ago, and I started using boats, I used to have metal ones. I'm sure you've seen other reviewers that use them. And they're three-sided, like aluminum boats. Those are the ones I originally started with. But they're extremely shiny, and my cameras always are face down, and my lights are usually above it, so you'd get a reflection, you couldn't see the gold. No, I have not yet, Brad. It's sitting on my old washing machine. I haven't had a chance yet. So the first time I switched to these, the old ones I used to do, as soon as I'd heat up the gold, I'd dump them in the aluminum pan and bring them over to my station and get ready to start doing the review and stuff. And by the time I got to the weighing part, the gold was cooled off. First time I used one of these plastic boats, hot gold, dumped it in it, melted everywhere. Had to scrap that video. Then I was like Swiss cheese. Yeah, that place has been dug down so much. It's just crazy. So I used to read, when I was a kid, I read the first Oak Island book. And then every time a new Oak Island book would come out, I'd get it and read it and read it. And every time you'd read it, you'd hear about like, so the first people that went down there, I think they dug 3 shafts. Because they had the original shaft, then they dug one on the side of it to try to get around the trap. Then they dug another side pit to try and get around the traps as well. So just the first people that went down there was 3 holes. And then the next person that went down there, they dug 3 holes where they put them in line. And then the next people that came there dug like 3 shafts really far away and tried to tunnel to it. I mean, and then the next person came in, they'd already had, that's like 8 holes now. You don't know which one's original because you have 8 holes. So they were like, well, we'll just dug this one, or they dug next to another one, and it's keeps going on and on and on. So by now, there's probably been 1,000 shafts dug, Yeah, recaps are the worst. The only time a recap is good for any TV show is at the beginning of a new season. Especially nowadays where it takes 2 to 3 years for a second season to come out, or a third season. Then it's good to have a recap. Like, hey, this is what happened last season. Now you're caught up. But after each episode, no. All right, I think this is all dried up enough. Let's weigh it up. Let me get my scale. All right. Get my cutting board that has never seen food on it before. All right. Put that there. Get the scale. It had two pickers. We're going to find out what they weigh. So I need to find. So this is what we got. Well, 2 little pickers in there. We're going to weigh those up first. Let me see. Can't see. You can't see. There we go. All right. Which one? Got that one. And that one. I think this one is the smaller of them. Sounded the lightest. Yeah, 0.295. And then 0.280. So just under 0.3 each. Now let's see if we can hit the 4 grams. See how much I missed. It's not all in there yet. But one of the good things about Felix is you're not going to get like 4.2, 4.3. This is going to be like 4.0 on the dot. So 4.1. That's what I said earlier, I think was 4.1 because the 2 gram is 2.05. So I must have missed 0.01. That's 0.01 is in my Tuesday tailing. So there you go. 4.0. That means it's time for ugly mug time. Let us, well, no, let me move this zoom in the cam. See if we can't get just the gold. There we go. This one only go up to 150. There we go. All right. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, my computer is freaking out. Oh. Looks like it's about time I bought a new one. All right, now let's shrink down. Ugly mug. Oh, that's what's wrong. My face cam is deactivated. So give me 1 second. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It doesn't do that when I'm shooting my videos. It only does it on my live shows. I wonder why. I don't know. And this one's got upgraded RAM, so I don't know what's wrong with this thing. But, all right. I think we have to say bye-bye to the gold. I don't think it likes having two things up at once. So, there's the gold. There's the ugly mug. We'll get rid of the panning cam. There we go. So, but that was pretty good. Like I said again, I really like this guaranteed Paydirt from FelixPaydirt. I didn't think I would ever be coming back to Felix again, but it's good stuff. It's really good Paydirt. I mean, I don't know what the ROI would be on this bag. It's guaranteed for, as of today, it'd be 93.34, so it's probably like a 95% ROI, I'm guessing, if you crunch the numbers. So, yes, we weighed the two small pickers. One was 0.295 and 0.280. Then 4.1 is probably what was in the bag, 4.1 total. I just need a computer. Yeah. Well, sadly, it looks like I'm going to need a new one here. So, or either that or I need to bring my one upstairs down here. I'll probably bring my one upstairs down here, and I guess I'll have to get a new one upstairs. Because my one upstairs, I've spilled coffee on twice, and it's still running. It's still running. That works perfectly. And, but it's getting older. This is an older one, but I bought this one used off of eBay. You never know what. When I bought this one, its battery was only at 50%. It won't go higher than 50%. So I know this one was used a lot. So I guess it might, I upgraded the RAM when I got it, but, I think it's about time I retire this one maybe and, bring my one from upstairs down here because it's, in a humid place with lots of dust all the time. I didn't think this one would last too long, Got Paydirt dust everywhere. It's sucking up the fans, and I'll take it apart. I don't know. Keep it for parts for the other one. Then buy a new one for upstairs. And with gold going skyrocketing, I just can sell 2 or 3 of these bags and get a new computer. No, exposed. Is that his newest one? Which one was that? Doing the gold, silver, copper bag? No, I'll have to look for that one. Was that his last one or last couple? Let me know what it was, and I'll go look it up. Then I like that. I want to see that. Because that's not something I would review. So if I know there's going to be copper and silver, unless it's like somebody I really like, like Vendetta when he had his silver bag, I typically won't review them because they're a pain. I agree, Jeffrey Button. Whenever I go into a review, all I'm expecting is what was guaranteed. That's it. If I get more, it's a lanyard bonus, and I appreciate it. But one of the things I've complained about over the years, I don't do it as much because most Paydirt sellers have gotten better about it, is back in the day, like when I was first doing reviews, a lot of sellers, they would sell you a bag of Paydirt, and they would say, okay, it's got 1 gram in it. And you would find 1.0 grams in it. And that was perfectly fine with that. But then the problem I would have is that then they would send you like a snuffer and a little bottle with it and a sticker and, maybe, fake plastic tweezers or something with it as well. And you'd be like, okay, well, you just spent 50 cents on knickknacks to put in my bag of Paydirt, you could have gave me 50 cents worth of gold, and I would have been much happier because the knickknacks are just going to go in the garbage, where the gold's going to go in a vial. But nowadays, most sellers have gotten away from throwing in the knickknacks and putting in more gold. So, you don't see that too often. I think there was, it must have been RJ's. Yeah, it would have to be RJ's. RJ's, I have one of his bags on my shelf. That's what we're going to do next Tuesday. If I'm here next Tuesday, is RJ's Paydirt. So I like RJ's. I know he has a fan base. He's got decent Paydirt. There's just certain parts about his Paydirt I don't like because he does, like you get the 1 ounce nugget type deal. He does do those, and I'm just not a fan of those. He does whatever they're called, like the, I know there's a certain phrase for them, but they're like, they're just, to me, they're gimmick bags. If you got a 1 in 50 chance of getting a 10-gram nugget, he knows who's going to win. He might say he doesn't know who wins. He might say he makes all 50 bags, but you can run a little, metal detector over him and you'll know which one. So I sell a lot of silver Paydirt more than gold lately, honest. I wouldn't be surprised. Silver's cheaper. There's a reason, like I follow, on Reddit, I follow a lot of stacking, which is funny. I think I'm only subscribed to like 2 or 3 stackers on YouTube, and they're ones that are, fellow stackers on, that are on my YouTube channel that visit me. So I subscribe back to them, but I read a lot of it on, Reddit, and the vast majority of people start stacking silver because silver is so much cheaper. It's a lot easier to stack silver. It's a lot cheaper to get into. So oh, safety seal. All right. Well, hopefully the whole bottle. I don't know. It's next month, I think, that we're going through your bottle. I'll let you know like 2 weeks before I actually go through your bottle, because I am going to pan it out on a Tuesday show. I can't afford that on my shelf, so I bought it just for a Tuesday show. I tossed a gold spoon in mine and a Uprolite. Like I don't mind if people put in extra stuff in Paydirts if it's somebody like in the community making a Paydirt. If HD Shovelhead made a Paydirt and he's like, oh yeah, I'm selling these, or Troubled One, somebody, then I don't mind it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm throwing out these knickknacks. A lot of times, if I sell Paydirt, I might throw a nickel in every one of them because, I'm selling them just on my website, on Patreon or something. I'm not selling them on a website. It's just the big sellers, like I would throw a fit if Mike at GNS started throwing in like the little shovels or whatever they are and other things that end up costing them $1, like I actually told, like I love Gold Nugget Man. I love Buck and Ollie. I think they have absolutely, I love their Paydirt and stuff, and they're a hoot to chat with and stuff like that. But when they first started selling, I sent them an email and I was like, why are y'all sending like, the magnifying glass and the card and all this other stuff, just put in more gold. And they're like, nope, we're going to do that. But you can't complain because you're getting usually 100% ROI on their Paydirt. So I can't complain about them getting more than I want. So I'm on a different Paydirt. It's gold. That's awesome, Troubled One. You just need to put a website up. Hey Casey, how's it going? I hope you weren't here the whole time chatting because I have missed you the whole time. But I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna try to make my show next week. I'm gonna try to be here next week because see, one of the reasons why I do these Tuesday shows and why I do like a 4-gram bag tonight, because typically I do a lot of 1-gram bags on Tuesday nights, is because of Patreon, I am required by Patreon laws and rules and regulations to give back to my Patreon members because they support me. So I give back to all my Patreon members, and I do that in the form of Paydirts. And I also have a $79 tier on my Patreon that is rewarded with a guaranteed bag of Paydirt. So every month I have to have X amount of gold at the end of the month to make sure I fulfill all my requirements to give back to the community and to my $79 tier members. So let's say like I earlier in the month review 2 bags of Paydirt with very, very little gold in them. That's not going to feed my hungry Patreon members. So what happens is then I have to do bigger bags, and I did 2-grammers in the next battle, but the next video I have coming out is an equipment review. So the way I have to get more Paydirt or gold in is I have to do bigger bags on these Tuesday shows. So I'm probably going to be required to do a video on Tuesday to make sure I have enough gold to feed my hungry Patreon members by giving back to them. So I'll probably be here next Tuesday. I mean, my kids are going to be here. So I try not to do videos or reviews or anything when my kids are around. But they're going to be here 2 weeks. So they're going to have to deal with it. And I'm going to have to, I'll be sick of them probably by then. So. I know little shovels sound cool. I thought I had some. What did I do with mine? I think I gave mine away. I used to have this cup used to be full of little spoons. And I mean they cost like $1. That's $1. If you're selling, if gold's $100 a gram, that's, 0.01 gold. I'd rather have that gold. Now I understand like the vials and stuff like that. A lot of times with the vials, I'll kind of overlook a vial just because a lot of people that buy Paydirt buy it once. They put a little water in there, they put a little gold in there, and then it goes on their shelf, and they leave it alone. They don't ever see it, pan anymore Paydirt. But it was a lot of the other tchotchke stuff, like they'd put in, magnets, poker chips, or, something else that's got no value. At least with like Culver, he puts a nickel in. I can take that nickel and go to the store with it. I got at least a nickel, hermetically seal yourself. Oh, I know. I'm just dreading getting sick. I will say in my car, I still have my, COVID masks because I always kept them in my car and they're just still there because once you get home you don't need them anymore, so they're still in my car. I just never threw them away. So I think once they come over I'm gonna just wear my masks until they're over whatever bat flu they have this time. So oh well, that's awesome. Tio's got some really good Paydirt. I enjoyed the last one I did. Luckily the other one is still on the shelf, the Fire and Ice over on this one. So I still have the Fire and Ice, and that one we're not going to go through. Those shovels do not cost $1, more like $3 for $1. Well, whatever they cost, that's 33 cents. I want 33 cents worth of gold. But as a seller is not a seller has the option to do whatever they want. I've always said sellers can do whatever they want, but as a buyer, I can complain about what I like and don't like. When I buy your dirt, I'll take anything tchotchke you don't want. Yeah. That's where it all goes. It all goes. I had a buddy of mine. He wanted a custom Paydirt. Last year, he wanted a custom Paydirt for his girlfriend to go through. And I threw so much tchotchke stuff in that thing. He wanted a custom chest. I got him a custom chest. It was a very large bag of Paydirt. They wanted it in a chest. It was a custom thing for him. Really good friend of mine. And he wanted it for his girlfriend to pick through. So he didn't want, like fine gold or anything. He just wanted her to dig through it. And I put all my tchotchke stuff I had in 2 years in it. So I don't actually sell Paydirt. So I sell Paydirt on my Patreon probably once a year. That's about it. I used to sell it like 2 times a year, sometimes 3 if my kids broke me. But nowadays I haven't really been into it too much. I haven't had any good ideas because it was always themed Paydirt. I was always doing, you can see them on my shelf here. I had my canned Paydirt. So that was one of them. I did my canned Paydirt. And then because everyone always wants a bucket Paydirt, I did my bucket Paydirt. So, everyone wanted those. So if it's not a theme, I just haven't felt it, in a while. I will probably do one this year, but it won't be until like August or September, and that's going to be on Patreon. So I only sell Paydirt on Patreon because I will never sell Paydirt on a website or, anything like that. Cause it's a conflict of interest, selling Paydirt on as a permanent thing, selling Paydirt on a website and then doing Paydirt reviews on the side. It's kind of a, oh, that Paydirt sucks. Man, this Paydirt is so bad. But come to my website over here and buy some Paydirt that's slightly better. They already have someone that does that. I don't need to do that. They're small though, because I can buy a bunch and include them. Everyone's just so mad at me for saying no tchotchkes. I don't mind. So I will say, okay, so this is my last thing I'm going to say about tchotchkes, because I know not everyone feels this way, and everyone's entitled to their opinion if they like tchotchkes, if they like gems, if they like rocks and their stuff. If it's in the Paydirt description, I would not complain. That would be my thing. So if you buy a bag of Paydirt, let's say you see a bag of Paydirt and it says 1 gram, you're getting the Arizona Paydirt with 1 gram of gold in it. It's going to weigh a pound. And that's all the description. And then you get that pound of Paydirt in, and you're ready to go panning some Arizona Paydirt. And it's got 8 ounces of fish tank gravel, red and blue and yellow fish tank gravel. That to me is not going to be fun because I was expecting Arizona Paydirt, not Arizona Paydirt with fish gravel in it and then 1 gram of gold. Now, if it says in there also includes, gems and rocks, fish rocks and stuff like that, then I won't complain. I'll be like, well, I read the description and the description told me it was going to have aquarium rocks in it. So, I can't be upset. And if it says it's got silver, because one of the things that a lot of sellers used to do back in the day, you almost never see it too much anymore, is they'd sell you a 1 gram bag of Paydirt, and then they'd put in the bag of Paydirt would cost $60. And then they'd put in like $3 worth of silver. And it would always be silver shot, which is just horrible. But again, I'd say, and it wouldn't be in the description. So it's like, if it's not in the description, that silver should be gold. Now, if you tell me this bag of Paydirt, like RJ's does, RJ's Paydirt, he does very explicit, tells you you're going to get rocks, gems, silver, copper, and all these other things. And that's great. That's not extra. And that's what my complaint is. When I complain about tchotchkes, it's stuff where people put it in there. It's not in the description, so it's not something I was expecting. It's not something I think, it gives me value. Like if it tells you, hey, and every bag of Paydirt comes with a gold vial and a golden shovel, then it's in there and you can't complain. So put it in your description and I can't complain. And you can even email me and I will help you with your description. You can ask any seller. I've helped more sellers tell you about what I do and don't like about descriptions. Charles King, how's it going, brother? I can't stand color rocks. Yeah. See, that's what I do. So when I'm panning Paydirt that's not for a review and there's colored rocks in there, I am sitting there. I will be panning it with my tweezers in my hand. And as soon as something, beep, 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 picking them out, and it just drives me crazy. And I know some people love that. When my kids used to like going through Paydirt, they loved it. They absolutely loved it. But like I said, if it's in the description, you can't complain about anything with a Paydirt. Just like if they say there's 1 gram, you can't complain if there's only 1 gram because they told you it's 1 gram. If they say it's 1 gram to 2 grams and it's always only 1 gram, you can complain. So, yeah, just troubled one. You just got to go to his YouTube channel and hit him up. I pick through with tweezers, dry first, and get them. Yeah, nowadays I just pan them right out into. So that's one of the problems where, like, if you get my Tuesday tailings Paydirt, you will get sometimes some fish tank gravel and stuff like that. Because nowadays I just pan it right into my thing, throw it in my Tuesday tailings bucket, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah. What you gonna do? So okay. So what do we got? We got to do. Let me go. I will post this one last time. Now, as always, oh Lord, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. This is 100% by me to give back to the people of the community who look at my ugly mug, listen to me complain about tchotchkes, Paydirt, and we didn't even talk about food today. I think we did a little bit maybe, but things like that. So to put up with me, I do these giveaways for these live shows. So make sure you go over there, click the link, leave a comment. And you must be here. If I pull your name, you must be in the live chat. You must post something in the live chat before I leave the show to collect your prize. Otherwise, you lose it. And next week, we give it away to somebody else. So right now, we only have one spot. And that's... Who won it last week? I don't even remember who won last week. Was it Weezen that won last week? I don't even remember who won. I didn't write it down in my notes. So I'll have to watch the old video. So we have one spot filled already. We're going to fill spot number 2 today. Next week will be spot number 3 if I have my Tuesday show, and I should. Then the following Tuesday, which will be my Patreon live show, we will give away a 1/2 gram bag of Paydirt. You'll have 1 in 3 chance. So, yes, Gregory Littleton. I have done Northern Nevada a few times. They didn't make it into this year's Super Championship battle, but they did make last year's Championship battle, and they didn't do very good. They're okay Paydirt. You get a decent ROI from Northern. I've always liked them, but the problem is lately, the last couple bags I bought from them in my championship when I did it, and I saw a review like 6 months after my championship, last year's, not the last one I did, is you're getting like for their 1 gram bag, I think I got like 1 2 pickers or something at like 0.6. It was like 2.3 pickers and then a little bit of gold. So it was like nothing to really pan out. It was kind of just like 4 chunky pieces of gold, which is great if you just want chunky gold, but it's not good if you want to actually pan and have some fun. So, but they're not a bad paydirt. You get a good ROI from them. That's it, Gold Baron. That's why, I know a lot of people don't care. Like when I do my reviews and they're like, we don't care about description. And I get comments all the time like, the ROI is the only thing that matters. Description doesn't. And I'm like, no, you don't think about that. If you were going to buy a truck and you went to a truck place and you said, hey, what's this truck? And they said, it's a truck. And you said, well, what's its towing capacity? And they said, it's a truck. And you said, well, is it 2-door, 4-door? Does it got V6, V8? It's a truck. You're not going to buy it. You're going to go to the next dealership and the next dealer will tell you, this thing's got a 20,000 ton towing capacity, 4-door, V8 cam, dual turbo engine. You're going to be like, dude, I'm buying your truck. Another truck seller is not going to sell one. And that's the same thing with Paydirt. A Paydirt seller that tells you this is what you're going to get, this is how much it weighs, and this, you'll be much more informed and you're more likely to buy it. If you do buy it though, and let's say they don't have a description, it just says truck, and you go and buy that Paydirt from Truck Guy, and you're new to Paydirts, you only panned out 1 bag before, and this stuff is all ball mill minus 200, minus 300 gold. You're going to find 0.1 gram out of the gram you're guaranteed. You're going to be upset. You're going to email them, this stuff sucks. I couldn't find any of the gold. It's too small. And they're going to say, truck, and they're not going to care. And it's the same thing as if like you're a seasoned panner and you go to buy a Paydirt and there's no description and you're like, man, I want something good hard Paydirt, and you pan out and it's just got 1 nugget in it. It's great that you got a 1 gram nugget, but it's gonna be boring. You're gonna pan it in a half a second and you're gonna feel like you wasted your time. So descriptions are very important. I know most people don't. And I do count ROIs. Like somebody actually left a comment not too long ago where they said, the ROI should be worth more, and they are. That's why the fun factor is the exact same as the ROI. That's why I put fun factor in there. So the highest, if you get an ROI that's 100, the ROI is, the fun factor is going to be 100. That counts as 2 out of my 5 criteria. So description is, can you? All right, let me go make sure everything is set up for the giveaway. All right, I don't need that on there anymore. Make sure they're not all held. Oh, everything has been going through. That's awesome. And thank you again, HD, for pointing out YouTube's failure. They're approving all the comments. So, all right. So we're going to just update real quick what's going on for this week. So I will not be having a review up this Saturday. The next review will be the following Saturday, and it's actually an equipment battle. I'm battling 2 sluices against each other to see which one is better, if which one's worth it better or whatnot. 2 sluices battling each other, not this week, but next week. Next Tuesday, I do have a show, if I'm not sick, if my kids haven't just buried me in the backyard and took all my gold off the shelf, I'm going to be going through a bag of RJ's Paydirt, since I'm talking about tchotchke and gravel, aquarium gravel. We're going to be going through a bag of RJ's Paydirt. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, so if a description, like I have a criteria, I actually have a sheet up there that I keep up there of all the points. And, actually I can, here, give me a second. So this is my sheet. That's all my rules and regulations when I do a review that I have to follow to guarantee everybody. That tells me my ROI, my fun factor, how I'm going to calculate it. And when it comes to the description, they get 2 points for the amount of material, 2 points if they tell you the amount of gold, 2 points for the size of gold, 2 points for the difficulty, 2 points if the Paydirt has a video showing it off or panning it. So you could get 10 points just for those 5 things. But if you don't want to have a video, you can't. I don't want somebody to say, oh, I can only get 8 points because I don't have a video. You can also get 1 point if where the dirt comes from, 1 point where the gold is from, 1 point has the material been classified down, 1 point does the material have organics, black sands, things like that, and 1 point if it has black sands and if they're magnetic. So you can actually score technically 15 points under my system. It only goes up to 10, but you could score 15 points. And that's why, some sellers, they'll throw in a whole bunch of, like I've said it before in Golden Paydirt. they have a huge description. Like if you look at golden Paydirt, it's paragraph after paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, but it doesn't tell you anything about the Paydirt. Nothing about the Paydirt. It actually tells you nothing. It'll tell you that the gold is from all over the world, the dirt is from all over the world, and you might get a whole bunch of gold, but it doesn't tell you any facts. It doesn't tell you, hey, this is Alaskan material, all the gold is from Alaska, and you're guaranteed 0.05 grams of gold. No, 3 sentences, one sentence, 3 facts, more than their entire description. I think I scored 4. I bought the little buddy, waiting for Paydirt to come to try it. I will tell you, it is the one of the sluices I am battling is the sluice buddy. So it's a sluice buddy versus another sluice. I'm going to battle the two to see which one is better, if which one's worth more money, which one, just to see with that. So that's going to be in 2 weeks. And I'm really excited to do that one. That one actually I was supposed to do last year, and then it kept getting put off. It was actually the boss buddy against a different sluice, but then I didn't like that sluice. It's still sitting on the other side of this wall here. And then I got a new sluice to do, but then I had to do my Paydirt championship and a whole bunch of other things. So, but I'm finally getting to do it, and I'm excited. So, got 24 pounds for $60. Oh yeah, I'm gonna guess 0.1 gram. I'll make a Paydirt with crushed up magnet. It's K's coins. Yeah. And it's funny, I had to write this because I kept forgetting. I would always forget and be like, dude, how did I be like, what am I supposed to do on here? And I wanted to be more specific, especially so I did most of this sheet last year. Before that, I kind of knew what I was going to do it. But starting this year, I wanted to make sure that every single, for things like shipping, back in the day, 2 or 3 years ago, if they shipped within 48 hours, they got a 10. And then everything after that, unless it took a really long time, like if it took a week or something like that, they'd get an 8. Then if they took a month, they might get a 6 or a 5 or a 2 or something like that. But now it's clocked in if they get 24 hours to ship it. And then after that, they start losing a point every day. So, and I don't count Sundays, and I don't even really count Saturdays. So, because I figure if you place an order on a Monday at 5 o'clock for Paydirt, it should be in the mail the next day. The day after that, yeah, you still get a 9 or a 10. So, but just now I can keep track. I keep track of every, when I order the Paydirt, or my secret shopper orders a Paydirt and they send me the tracking number, I can look, okay, took them 3 days before they dropped it off at the post office, Yeah. No. The other one I had, what was it called? So originally I was going to do the, I don't even remember what this sluice is called. It was going to go against the buddy, but I have it on the other side. I'm going to review it by itself later on. I just didn't think it would be a good battle. It was such a pain in the butt to set up. Well, if you want to do bulk Paydirt, my favorite seller for doing bulk Paydirt has always been Paystreak Prospecting. And you got to make sure you're at the right one. If it looks like all the other sites, then it's not the right one. But it's Paystreak Prospecting. They have no guaranteed Paydirt. They're out of Arizona. They have been selling for as long as I've been reviewing. So they've been around for about 8 years, probably even maybe a little longer. They've been around when lynch mining was around. And with them, you're either going to get like a 50% ROI up to a 100% ROI. It's going to be somewhere in between there. But they sell a lot of 5 pound, 10 pound bags like that. And at least you're not going to get ripped off. With a lot of these sellers, when they sell 50 pound bags, working the claim to get a 50 pound bag, you're going to get a 10%, 20% ROI. So they're really good. I always liked prospecting, Paystreak Prospecting. Yeah. It took a week for Golden to even print my label. Golden is kind of weird with that. I've had them before where they just took a long time to ship it. And then other times, like when I did my battle with the worst of the Paydirts, It shipped out the same day, which was really surprising because I had my secret shopper order that one and the Clash off of Paydirt, off of eBay, and they both shipped out the next day. You know. Yeah, if you go here, here, let me look them up first because there's two pay streaks. There's one that's a scam site, and then there's one that's a not scam site. Because I think one's pay streak. Well, I gotta spell it right. Come on, Dylan. Oh my gosh, and I spelled it wrong again. Yeah, it's pay streak prospecting because they also have a one. I think it's called pay streak Paydirt, and that's the scam. But pay streak prospecting, it's one of my favorite Arizona sellers. It has no guarantee. Yeah, pay streaks nugget elite 7 pound. Yeah, like I said, they get big bags, and you get like they don't guarantee anything. But in my experience, and I've been panning their stuff out for 8 years now. I think they were one of my first Paydirt reviews. I mean, I was probably have one from them 8 years ago. And I've always gotten either a 50% all the way up to 100%. And I used to buy their stuff a lot. Like when I was first started reviewing, I would buy their stuff. That was my seller that I would buy from off camera. These days, if I buy stuff off camera, it's usually, somebody that's going to give me a really high ROI, like Gold Nugget Man, Gold Nugget Sales, or Culver, or, Vendetta. You can see I have a lot of Vendetta on my shelf. Because I love Vendetta. So I have a lot of his stuff on my shelf, and I'll buy that for, when I want to pan on myself and get a really high ROI. But back in the day, it was just, I wanted really cool stuff that had no guarantee, and that was the one I'd go. Oh, they're also on the Shop app. I've never even looked on the Shop app for, I need to write and know that. Look on Shop app. Yeah, the scammy seller guy, I found 2 new sites of his. I think he's up to like 30 sites now. It's crazy. But all right, let's go do the giveaway. Poll name number 2. Let me go get I need to get the YouTube link. Oh, my cat's getting hungry. I heard your food machine gave you some food. He wants his dessert. He gets his cat meat sticks, so. But all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Let me make sure. Make sure that's there. And again, if I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat before the end of the show. But all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Oh, no, I'm shrinking down the wrong thing. So here we go. The famous, the best, the most wonderful website in the whole wide world, Miller Prospecting, top 10. Like I said very early in the show, Bear Prospecting, Prospecting Gear. Number 6 and number 8, both Indiana sellers. Oh, you got to love that. And there we go. The last actual review I did. I haven't done a review in a while. I've been doing a lot of battles. The last review I did was actually Pay Streak Prospecting. There you go, 84.92% ROI. But then all the scammy sellers, those are the ones at the bottom. Sellers to avoid. This is all one guy. One guy owns every one of these sellers' websites. And there he has Pay Streak Paydirt. I don't know if you can see it because I think my ugly mug is in the way. But here, we'll move my ugly mug. See? Right here. Pay Streak Paydirt. But this guy, one guy owns all these websites. All of them suck. You might actually, a couple of people told me they've gotten like so ROIs, like 35, 40% ROIs, but the vast majority of people are not going to get anything good out of this. So all bad sellers. So, and then like I was saying, all of my battles I've been doing a lot of battles lately, and I buy gold. So I don't know how much gold I can buy with spot price of 97.62, but you can always hit me up. And there it is. I paid $500 for a 1 gram Paydirt. Pay Streak Prospecting's 10-pound Gram Slam bag. That was a really good one. That, if you haven't seen that one, that's a good video to watch. They haven't had the Grand Slam back, but from what I heard, they're going to be bringing it back. Yeah. All right, now the YouTube. Make sure my ugly mug isn't blocking the name, and it's not. All right. Again, if I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat. Good luck to everyone. Thank you all for joining the show, hanging out with me, and hitting that thumbs up. If you didn't hit the thumbs up, make sure you hit the thumbs up on your way out when you realize you didn't win, because you didn't hit the thumbs up, so that's why you didn't win. But Alaskan Assassin, so congratulations. So congratulations, Alaskan. Now we're going back to the website, the best website ever, Miller Prospecting. I just thought of a new thing I'm going to be adding. It's going to be here. I'll be adding it here, right here. I'm going to be doing that next week. So I have a new thing you can check out on my website. Yeah. But all right, ugly mug time. Let's check out Alaskan Assassin. See what he says. Yeah, Culver's around. Culver's a really good guy. He was here last week. I was wearing a Culver shirt and he happened to show up. So he's usually here almost every week. So hey, Bob Peterson, thank you for joining the show at the very, very end. I appreciate it. So there you go. He was probably just listening. I know a lot of times Culver, because my show's at 6, starts at 6, a lot of times Culver is on the way home, when the show starts. So oh, there he is. There you go. And all my mods told me you were here too. So need to sell gold. Culver's buying. So it was funny. So the last time I was on this show and I told everyone that I was buying gold, and, if you got gold to sell, and if I'm not gonna buy, so I will tell you this 100%. If you say, hey, I've got this amount of gold, will you buy it? I'm not just gonna tell you yes or no. I'm gonna tell you yes or no, but. And I will say no, but here. And I will tell you where to go otherwise. Because it was funny. I had a guy, he sent me, after I did the show, 60 grand. I'm like, what am I going to do with that? So I did give him an offer. He didn't come back. If he would have replied back, I would have told him, well, this is where to go. So I know some sellers will, like if you tell them, like, I'll buy gold and they tell you a price that's too low. And I'll tell them, like, John, Wrenches Repairs, he had to sell some gold last year. I think it was last year. And I told him my price, but he'd get a better price somewhere else. And I told him where to go, to get a better price somewhere else. I mostly buy gold where it's like 10 grams or less, because most buyers don't buy less than 10 grams. If you got, last month, that's what I bought, 3 grams from somebody. And then I bought 5 grams from somebody else, because most buyers won't touch those little bits, but for me, like I said, it goes towards my Patreon giveaways, or contests. My Patreon contests, they're not giveaways, they're contests. Yeah, dang blizzard. I know. I think we're getting back to being warm. It was a nice day today. It was like 66 today, so all my windows are open upstairs. Stamus, maybe we can talk after I get the permit. That'd be awesome to see y'all working that. But so yeah, Saturday, no video. Following Saturday, I do have a battle between 2 sluices, 4 pounds of material, 4 pounds of dirt, and 100 pieces of gold. That's going to be the week after next. This Saturday, nothing. But then next Tuesday, I'm going to be here next Tuesday. I'm going to already tell you I'm going to be here next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to be panning out a bag of RJ's Paydirt with all the tchotchke stuff added to it. So that should be some fun. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go feed this cat his treats or whatever he wants, because he's just sitting here looking all hungry. And come here. You want to be on the show for a second? Come here. See? Show everyone my void cat. Can't even see him. He just blends in with my shirt. Look at the camera. Talking to the microphone. Yeah. Now you can hear him purring. He's already purring. He knows he's getting treats. You know you're getting some treats now, huh? All right, go sit down there. Now that you shed all over me. But I'm going to get out of here. I will see you all next Tuesday, and we're going to pan out some RJ's Paydirt. So Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I hope everyone has a great week. I hope everyone finds some good gold out there because gold is going up, up, up. What is it? Mike, gold nugget sales, 3,500 coming soon. So I'm out of here. Thanks all, and I will see you all next week.